After spending my entire bonus on a surprise anniversary trip, I came home early with the tickets and found my wife on the phone. He's so easy, just smile and he pays for everything. I'll ditch him after Bali. Her friend laughed, drain him first. I didn't say a word. Just booked one ticket. I went alone. 2 weeks later, she was screaming into my voicemail, please answer. I'm begging you. I walked into our living room holding 2 tickets to Bali and she was on the phone, laughing. Not just laughing. Scheming. He's so easy, she said. Just smile and he pays for everything. I'll ditch him after Bali. Her friend's voice crackled through the speaker, drain him first. I didn't make a sound. Didn't even blink. I just stepped back out the front door, took a deep breath and swallowed the scream clawing its way up my throat. It was like my brain split in two, half trying to understand what I'd heard, the other already planning next steps. The tickets in my hand crinkled as my fingers clenched. Business class. Anniversary surprise. 2 weeks of sun and sea to celebrate 5 years of marriage. I drained my whole bonus into this trip. Thought it would make her smile again. Thought it would bring us back. Instead, it exposed everything. I didn't go back inside. I walked straight to my car, checked into a hotel down the road, and started rearranging the trip. I booked 1 ticket, 1 room, 1 name, and I left without saying a word. Bali was beautiful. It felt like breathing after months underwater. Every sunset, every street market, every plate of spicy noodles, I soaked it all in. I smiled at strangers. I danced at beach bars. I sat on cliffs and watched waves break like thunder. And for the first time in years, I didn't worry if someone else was having fun. I just was. Meanwhile, my phone lit up like it was on fire. First it was the casual, hey, where are you? Texts. Then confusion. Then panic. Are you okay? Why aren't you answering? Then the calls. 27 voicemails by the time I touched down in Denpasar. By day 3, the messages turned frantic. You're scaring me. Please come home. I didn't mean it like that. By day 6? Begging. Crying. Full-on breakdowns in my inbox. You're ruining everything. You heard that, didn't you? I was joking. You know me. That was just a joke. And then the last one, right before I boarded my flight back. Please answer. I'm begging you. I walked into our house 2 weeks later like a ghost returning to the scene of its own funeral. She was on the couch, curled up, pale, mascara staining her cheeks. The second she saw me, she ran over like nothing had happened. I didn't flinch. Didn't even raise a hand. I can explain, she gasped, grabbing at me. You don't need to, I said, holding up my phone. I'd saved the audio. Her voice, her words, the laugh, the plan. Everything. She collapsed onto the floor like her bones had given out. You were never supposed to hear that. No, I said. But I did. And now I see you clearly. She sobbed. Asked for a second chance. Said she loved me. Said it was the stress. The hormones. Her friends. Anything but herself. And then she made the mistake that ended it all. I was going to go through with the trip anyway. You didn't have to ruin everything. I smiled. That same quiet, knowing smile I wore on the plane while sipping champagne, watching the clouds peel away from the horizon. You're right, I said. I didn't. A month later, I filed. She fought it. Hard. Tried to say I'd abandoned her. That I was unstable. That I'd gone off the grid. She even faked screenshots of messages I'd never sent. Claimed emotional manipulation. Told her family I was controlling. But she underestimated 2 things. I kept everything. Her friend, the one on the phone? She flipped the second she realized I had recordings. Gave me chat logs. Screenshots. Even video. Turns out this wasn't the first exit plan they crafted. Just the first one that didn't work. I didn't have to destroy her. She handed me the matches. All I did was wait for the wind. Yeah? I'm in therapy. I'm healing. I'm not bitter, just clearer. She lost most of the settlement. Judge saw right through her act. I kept the house. The car. Even the cat she used to call useless. She moved back in with her sister. Her Bali dream? Now just Instagram memories of a trip she never took. Mine? Etched in my memory like gold. And when people ask why I'm suddenly so calm, so centered, I just say this. Sometimes the best revenge is enjoying the trip you paid for, alone. Edit 1. Yes, I still have the recordings. Yes, they were legal, I live in a one-party consent state. Edit 2. For those asking, the friend who gave me the messages? She came clean because she didn't want to get dragged into court. We're not friends, but I thanked her. Edit 3. No, I'm not dating anyone right now. But I've started smiling again. And that's more than enough. Update 1. She showed up at my job crying, screaming. Security had to drag her out. It started with flowers. 2 days after the divorce was finalized, this ridiculous bouquet shows up at my office. White lilies, red roses, and a card that just said, "Let's start over. You and me." Bali was just a joke. I'm serious now. I laughed out loud. Actually laughed. My coworker Alyssa leaned over and said, "Bro, who died?" Thinking it was condolence flowers. When I told her it was my ex, her face twisted like she'd bitten into a lemon. "You sure you didn't marry a cartoon villain?" I tossed the flowers in the break room trash and went back to work. But she didn't stop. Emails, texts, DMs from burner accounts with variations of, "I still love you," and "I made a mistake, and you're just confused right now." Then came the guilt bombs. "You know I was raised to think love was transactional. You abandoned me. That's trauma. No one will ever love you like I did." By week 2, my HR department had flagged her emails. By week 3, she was calling the office landline pretending to be a client. Left a voicemail saying she was having thoughts and that I needed to come help her before something bad happened. That's when I got serious. I called her bluff. Had my lawyer send a very official cease and desist letter. Attached evidence. Voicemails. Texts. Even the call log from when she rang my company pretending to be someone named Shanice from Bali Wellness. Her response? She showed up at my job. In person. Hair a mess. Eyes wild. Makeup smeared like she'd sprinted through a thunderstorm of bad decisions. She stood in the lobby holding a folder and yelling my name like a banshee with a mission. Security tried to talk her down. She screamed, "He stole my life." The entire third floor heard her. My manager poked her head into my office like, "So, ex-wife, huh?" They dragged her out. Not violently, just enough to remind her she no longer had access. That was my life now. She could throw tantrums outside the glass, but she couldn't get back in. Later that night, she left a voicemail that started calm and ended in screaming. "You ruined everything. You embarrassed me. And now you're what, thriving? You think you're safe." Then she said something that stuck with me. "I'll burn it all down before I watch you be happy." That was 2 weeks ago. And that's when I realized she never wanted me. She wanted my silence, my loyalty, my compliance. And now that she's lost control, she's spiraling. But here's the kicker. I'm not afraid. I'm documenting everything. Got a restraining order in the works. My lawyer said this is textbook harassment. She even tried to file a fake police report claiming I assaulted her emotionally. Her words, not mine. Guess what? That got tossed fast. Turns out, when the person you're accusing has timestamps, receipts, and no contact for 2 months, you look exactly like what you are. A liar scrambling for relevance. Meanwhile, I got promoted. Yeah. Same day she got removed from the building, I got an email from my boss. New title, new pay, corner desk. Alyssa brought me a cupcake with a tiny plastic palm tree on it and said, "Congrats. Karma called and she's punctual." I ate that cupcake on the balcony, looking out at the city, while somewhere across town my ex was probably crafting her next manipulation attempt. But here's the thing. I'm not watching anymore. I'm just living. And every time I walk into my apartment, breathe in the silence, feel the space that used to be cramped with her chaos, I remember Bali, the air, the sea, the freedom, and I think this piece cost a lot, but damn if it isn't worth every penny. Edit 1, yes, we're filing for a restraining order. Lawyers already prepping everything. I've got too much to lose to let this spiral. Edit 2. Alyssa says hi and wants me to know the cupcake was gluten-free and full of petty frosting. She's the real MVP. Edit 3. Still not dating. Still not interested. Just rebuilding. One calm breath at a time. Update 2. She leaked my Bali photos with a fake, cheating caption. So I showed the internet the full video with her voice saying, "Drain him first." She just couldn't help herself. It had been 4 months of total silence. I'd blocked her on everything. Changed my number. Updated my emergency contacts. Even moved apartments, fresh lease, fresh view, no ghosts in the hallway. I thought she was finally out of gas. Then one morning, I'm sipping my coffee, half listening to a true crime podcast, when my phone starts exploding. Not texts, tags, dozens of them. Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, my Bali photos, pictures I posted months ago of me sipping cocktails, posing by cliffs, sitting next to a local tour guide named Au, were suddenly everywhere. Only now, they were posted by her, with captions like, "He took me to Bali, then slept with our guide. I left him. Empowerment looks like walking away." Just a reminder, emotional abuse doesn't always leave bruises. Sometimes it leaves plane tickets and lies. He tried to play the hero. Here's what really happened. I laughed. Not out of joy. Not even surprise. But the sheer audacity. This woman, who I literally caught plotting to dump me after Bali, who I left before she could drop the act, was now trying to rebrand as the victim? She cropped the guide's face to make her look cozy next to me. Blurred her own voice out of the original video where she says, "He's so easy. Just smile and he pays for everything." And worst of all, people believed her. For about 24 hours I was the villain. Comments flooded in. Another man using money to trap women. Gross. Imagine cheating on your wife in paradise. She's so brave for speaking up. Then the pendulum swung. Because people aren't stupid. A few folks dug deeper. Found the original Reddit post. Found my side. Found her voice in the background of a Bali planning video I posted, clear as day, crystal HD. Drain him first. Ditch him after Bali. One user stitched the two clips together. It blew up. Millions of views in 3 days. Suddenly the comments section flipped. Oh, so she was the problem. Plot twist, she built the lie and the bonfire she's burning in. Sis, don't play chess with someone holding the whole board. She deleted her posts within hours. Too late. The receipts were out. And me? I didn't say a word. Didn't post a rebuttal. Didn't explain myself. I just uploaded a single video. Me standing on the same Bali cliff from the photos. Wind in my face. Drink in hand. Caption. Sometimes the best defense is letting the truth do laps around a lie. That was it. It went viral. Again. Behind the scenes? Her spiral hit full velocity. Mutuals messaged me saying she lost a brand deal with some wellness startup. They cited integrity concerns. One of her old friends, Lena, sent me screenshots of a group chat where she was begging people to help her spin the narrative. Saying things like, "He's too calm. People believe him because he doesn't look angry. It's not fair." Lena just replied, "Maybe stop lying then." A week later, she tried one last Hail Mary. Filed a privacy complaint against my Bali video. Claimed it included her voice without consent. My lawyer replied with the state consent law, "Yep, still one party, timestamped evidence, and a little reminder. Your client voluntarily uploaded her own version of this audio. Multiple times. On public platforms." The complaint got tossed in 2 days. And then, she sent one last message. A handwritten letter dropped off at my work in a manila envelope. "I'll spare you the whole thing, but here are the highlights. You win. Is that what you want to hear? I lost everything because of you. I was hurt. I wasn't trying to hurt you." And then, in pen so heavy it almost tore the page. "I just didn't think you'd leave. That part? That broke me a little. Not out of sadness. Out of clarity. Because she never thought I'd stand up for myself. She thought I'd play the loyal fool forever. The joke was never, 'He's so easy.' It was always, 'He'll never walk away.' But I did. And now I'm still walking forward. Where am I now? Promoted again. Moved cities. New apartment with an actual view of the water, not a fantasy trip. The real thing. Started therapy full-time. Real, intentional work. Turns out surviving betrayal is one thing. Healing from patterns is another. And yeah, I started dating. Someone kind. Grounded. Met her at a bookstore of all places. She saw me staring at the same novel for 20 minutes and said, "You reading it or interrogating it?" We talked for 3 hours. She doesn't care about Bali. She doesn't ask about my ex. She just likes the way I listen. The way I ask if she got home safe. The way I make coffee without asking how she likes it because I remembered. She says I feel like peace. I told her, "You feel like something that doesn't need to be earned." And that's what Bali gave me. Not revenge. Vision. I saw what it was like to breathe. To choose myself. To leave without slamming the door but never opening it again. Edit 1 for the DMs asking. Yes, the bookstore girl knows the whole story. She even read the original Reddit post. Said it was surprisingly well written for a man traumatized by Instagram captions. I might marry her. Edit 2. I still get tagged in TikToks now and then. People reenact the Bali call scene. Someone made a candle called Drain Him First. I bought 3. Edit 3. If she ever tries again? I'm not worried. I'm not angry. I'm just untouchable now. Update 3. I got engaged. She showed up at the party with a USB drive. Play this if you want everyone to know who he really is. I played it, but she forgot one thing. I edited the video. It was supposed to be the happiest night of my life. I'd proposed that morning, quiet beach, just the two of us, same shoreline where we had our second date. She said yes before I even finished the sentence. I hadn't cried in years, but that morning, I felt clean, whole. We hosted a small party that night, nothing huge. Just a few close friends, co-workers, my brother, and Zoe's sister, who's basically her twin but somehow even more sarcastic. The vibe was perfect. String lights, laughter. Someone brought a Bluetooth speaker and queued up our playlist from a Bali cafe we'd loved. It was peace, wrapped in people who gave a damn. And then the door opened, and she walked in, my ex, looking like a fever dream of desperation and revenge. Tight dress, bleached hair, clutching a USB stick like it was Excalibur. The room went dead quiet. She didn't look at me. She looked at Zoe. I don't want to ruin your night, she said, voice trembling, but loud. Loud enough for everyone to hear. Then leave, Zoe said calmly, stepping forward. My ex held up the USB. You should see this. Everyone should. If you're really going to marry him, you should know who he really is. My hand moved toward her, but Zoe stopped me. Play it, she said. Let's see what story she's telling this time. I didn't want to, but something in Zoe's eyes said, do it. End it properly. So I took the USB, plugged it into the TV. Everyone crowded around. The screen went black. Then a title card popped up in bold red letters. The truth about him. The video played. Clips, photos, voice recordings. Me and her. Old Bali footage. Conversations she'd secretly recorded. Arguments taken out of context. Half-finished sentences that sounded awful without the full version. Her voice narrating like it was a documentary hit piece. He told me I was nothing. He made me feel disposable. He recorded me without consent. He manipulated everything. It was nasty, calculated, meant to humiliate me in front of everyone I cared about. But here's what she didn't know. I already had the footage. She used the exact same files she tried to send to HR. To my parents, to news blogs. I'd edited them myself months ago, to prepare, just in case. Right before the video ended, the screen glitched. Then another clip began. This one, her voice. He's so easy. Just smile and he pays for everything. I'll ditch him after Bali. Then the group chat screenshots. The fake captions she made. The voice note to her friend saying, I'll burn it all down before I watch him be happy. The room gasped. Zoe didn't blink. Then came the last clip. A message from me, staring straight into the camera. Recorded the night before I proposed, just in case she ever did exactly this. If you're watching this, she came back. Again. She tried one last time to control the story. But the truth, the real truth, is all here. I've got nothing to hide. The screen went black. Silence. Then clapping. Not thunderous. Not sarcastic. Just affirming. My brother walked over and unplugged the USB. Zoe deleted the files on the spot, ejected the stick, and tossed it back to her. Storytime's over, she said. You don't get to narrate his life anymore. My ex, she didn't scream, didn't cry. She just stood there, hollowed out like someone realizing the villain arc doesn't come with a fan base. Then she left. Alone. No one followed. That was 3 months ago. I haven't heard from her since. She deleted her social media again. I heard through mutuals that she tried moving to a new city. Tried starting over. But baggage that big follows you. Zoe and I, we're planning a small wedding. No Bali, no spectacle. Just us, a beach, and the people who actually show up without an agenda. I finally feel finished. Like this chapter, this era has been burned, buried, and sealed. People still ask me why I didn't sue. Why I didn't go scorched earth. why I didn't humiliate her harder. But here's the thing. I didn't want revenge. I wanted to be free. I wanted to walk into my life without checking the rear view every 5 minutes. And now, I have that. Love that's quiet, steady, and real. Friends who stayed. Coworkers who cheered. A woman who looked her in the eye and said, "Play it." And me? I'm not the guy she tried to drain anymore. I'm the guy who survived it, who grew from it, who recorded a message just in case and ended a whole war with a smile and a click. Edit 1, yes, we kept the footage. Locked it in the cloud. Lawyers got a copy. Not out of fear, just out of pattern recognition. Edit 2, Zoe says hi. She wanted to add, when the truth's on your side, you don't need to raise your voice. You just hit play. Edit 3. This is my last post. The story's told. The villain's offstage. And the hero? He's getting married in 3 weeks. To peace. To joy. To clarity. Thanks for watching me walk through fire. Now I'm building something that doesn't burn.